When talking about Minecraft minigames nowadays, you might think of minigames like Bed Wars, Skywars, and many others. But if you've been playing Minecraft since the early 2010s, then it's very likely that you've heard of Minecraft survival games. Survival games, also known as Minecraft Hunger Games, is probably the most popular Minecraft minigame of all time, and once dominated YouTube at its peak, but it currently seems to be all but forgotten by players and abandoned by the servers that once hosted it as one of their minigames. Why and how exactly did this once well-beloved minigame fall off so massively? And could survival games be credited for being the very first example of a multiplayer battle royale in gaming, and also be responsible for inspiring future titles in the genre like PUBG and Fortnite? Before I answer those questions, it's important that we go back to the inception of Minecraft survival games. The very beginning of Minecraft survival games coincides with the very first Hunger Games movie that was released back in 2012. A YouTuber and Minecraft map creator going by the name of Brady saw the movie shortly after its release and had the idea that what was shown in the movie could potentially work in Minecraft. Brady and his team of map makers then spent the next couple of weeks planning and creating the very first map for what would be known as survival games, and it instantly took off and became very popular within the Minecraft community. It's worth noting that Brady was actually pretty well known at this time for creating the first official trailer for Minecraft, which definitely helped with making survival games gain traction at first. The minigame's premise might sound a bit familiar if you never heard of it before. Survival games included a large open map with chests scattered all around that contained randomized loot that players would compete and kill each other for. Some iterations of the minigame had chests of higher rarities and supply drops with heights or loot that would occasionally drop throughout the map. There would then be a final showdown at the very end, where the remaining players would fight to determine who got the victory royale. In my opinion, this sounds a lot like the basic foundation of what makes a battle royale today, well, a battle royale. And clearly, people enjoyed it a lot. So much so that many Minecraft servers like MCSG were created for the sole reason of hosting Minecraft survival games for anyone to join. People also seemingly really like watching other people play survival games because otherwise, the Vagin Canadian would not have created over 700 fucking videos in the minigame if people didn't care about it. The minigame was obviously very popular back then, but that then raises the question of wondering just how the minigame is doing today. I recently remembered just how much fun it was to watch and play survival games back then, and that led me to look up servers that have it as a minigame today to try it again for nostalgia's sake, and I was pretty surprised at what I saw.
And it's gone. Huh?
There are barely any servers that have it as a minigame today, and the ones that do are basically dead. Hypixel is probably the one with the highest player count, coming in at a humongous player count of 34 players at peak hours. I tried many other servers which weren't exactly easy to find, and it was either impossible to find a full lobby or impossible to find a lobby altogether. I found this quote online from a developer named Ava that worked at MCSG, one of the biggest servers for survival games back in the day, and they basically stated how MCSG at its peak will have around 7,000 players all playing at once, with over 100,000 players total playing the minigame throughout the course of a day back in January of 2015. The minigame is evidently way past its prime, which is what led me to decide to make this video to find out just what went wrong and if it really was the first battle royale. When it comes to knowing what went wrong with survival games, I think that there really isn't one clear answer. There's a lot of reasons why, and I think one of the bigger reasons was the super divisive 1.9 combat update for Minecraft that split the multiplayer community apart back in 2016. In case you weren't aware, this update amassed a lot of mixed opinions from the community because of how it drastically changed the way that PvP works. PvP went from being very fast-paced and knockback reliant to being very slow-paced and methodical thanks to the additions of attack cooldowns and shields. It seemed like the majority of the PvP community hated the changes, while the more casual Minecraft players didn't really mind all too much. This then led to most Minecraft servers refusing to update to the newest edition of Minecraft, and I think that definitely split the player base apart. Another reason for the minigame's decline is that there were plenty of new minigames coming out like Bed Wars, Skywars, UHC, Block Hunts, and others that took attention away from survival games and basically replaced it. And to be completely honest, I feel like most servers didn't really do a good job of innovating survival games to help keep it fresh and fun to play. Let's take Hypixel's version of the minigame as an example. I think that it was a horrible idea for them to add kits that can be upgraded through an in-game currency. If you're a brand new player to that minigame, then you're going to have a really bad time competing against people that start off with enchanted iron armor and stone swords. I believe that one of the main appeals for modern battle royales today is the fact that every single player on the lobby is on an even playing field. No one starts out with the crazy advantage over others, and it's up to the player to overcome the odds through skill and luck within the match itself. Hypixel's version of the minigame clearly goes against this idea, and I don't find it surprising to see that hardly any people nowadays are playing their version of the survival games, which is a shame considering that they run the biggest Minecraft server on the Java edition of Minecraft. I think something else that held survival games back was that on most servers, there was nothing that would force players to get closer to each other like storm circles in Fortnite as an example. This made matches last longer than they had to, and it also kind of rewarded players that went to the very edge of the map and camped there the whole game. Those same players could then wait for the timer to run down so that they could be teleported to the center for the final showdown, and that could definitely be boring to play against. The final reason that I believe contributed to the downfall of survival games is that eventually there will be some actual battle royales coming out like H1Z1, PUBG, and Fortnite that would take what survival games did well on a basic level and heavily expand upon it. It also helped that a lot of these battle royale games are easily accessible and free to play, which meant that basically anyone that was willing to give it a try could easily do so. I really wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people that were still playing survival games back then saw how much more polished and advanced some of the modern battle royales look like compared to survival games, and those same people probably never look back again. Now that we've gone over why and how exactly survival games died, it's now time to answer the question of whether or not it was the first battle royale. I extensively researched the topic, and the general consensus is that it in fact was the first. I couldn't find any other games or mods for games that had a that had a battle royale before then. When it comes to knowing whether or not it directly influenced the future of the battle royale genre is a much trickier question. It is known that the next popular battle royale that came after survival games were the battle royale mods for DayZ and Arma 3, made by a modder named Player Unknown, the same person that would then go on to make H1Z1 and PUBG. It is very possible that those projects were inspired by survival games, but there really is no concrete evidence that could confirm this. I'm leaning towards a yes because even if it turns out that survival games didn't directly inspire those titles, it feels like it might as well have. I mean, survival games literally was a blueprint for modern battle royales. The only clear differences that I can really think of are things like battle buses, storm circles, and a higher player count within matches. Everything else at a basic level is the same, and it's really impressive to see just how far ahead of its time the minigame really was. I do wish that there was a server that is somewhat populated where you could still play the OG version of survival games, but I can see why that isn't the case. Even if the minigame may be forgotten by most players nowadays, it was definitely a big part of my childhood, and I'll always remember it whenever I look back on that era of Minecraft. With that being said, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. I set a goal for myself to hit 200 subs within this month, and while it may seem unlikely, one can dream, can't they? Here's a video of me yapping about why Minecraft is so terrible if you'd like to see more, and thank you so much for watching.